Hi there, I'm Beth, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a simple Smart Doll cropped vest. It has a little shaping to it in the form of darts, but it's very straightforward. The pattern is available as a downloadable printable PDF in A4 and US letter size. You'll find the link in the description. You might recognise this dress form from a recent video. I thought I'd show you how I've been using it. I bought thin black tape to mark seam lines with. I'll link it in the description too. I've marked the shape I want the vest to be and where I want the seams to sit. I lay thin cotton fabric over the form, pinning it in place like this. In order to follow the body shape here, we see a dart forming naturally. I pin to secure the dart, then use a heat erasable pen to copy the markings onto the fabric. I only marked out half the front panel with the tape, so the semicircle on the centre front indicates that it should be doubled or cut on a fold. I mark where the dart lies, and now can remove my cotton to see the template I made. This is such a fun way to start pattern making. Just remember to add seam allowances and be prepared to make a mock-up version and further alterations if you need a snug fit. Here are my templates, all copied onto card. So let's go get some fabric. I'm back with some lightweight jersey fabric. It's actually an old t-shirt that's been washed many times, so I'm not worried about any staining from the dark colour. It's nice and stretchy, and I'm looking to orient it so that the natural curl of the fabric will be at the outer top of my vest. I love the grungy, post-apocalyptic style clothing we often see in the Smart Doll store, so that's my inspiration today. Jersey fabric doesn't really fray, so I won't have to finish any of my seams either. I'm lining up my templates with that curl in mind, although I should actually be tracing my markings on the reverse side of the fabric instead. With dark fabrics, I often use a white gel pen to trace round my templates. I'm marking my darts, as well as following the outline of the vest to draw a slight point outside of the dart area too. You can see these outlines more clearly here. I cut out all my fabric shapes, cutting along the outline, leaving the inner V of the darts intact. Here's where I realised I'd drawn my darts on the front of the fabric instead of the back. Just draw yours on the back side. For the assembly, I begin by sewing the darts. I mark the tip with a pin, then fold the dart in half. I pin through the line, making sure it lines up in the back. Then reposition the first pin slightly so it will lay flat on the machine. With some reverse stitches at the start and end, I will sew the dart. I'm using a straight stitch and a length of 3. There should be plenty of stretch in the finished top, so I'm not worried about snapping stitches. I sew the dart and repeat the same steps again for the second one. Here they're both sewn. I've used a light coloured thread so you can see the stitches, but for your own project use a thread that matches your fabric. Next, we'll attach the straps to the front piece. I've indicated on the template that these will be folded inward twice. You can use the lines as an approximate guide. First, we'll attach the straps to the top where shown here. Align with right side spacing and pin. The rest of the strap extends towards the top. We will sew the strap leaving 5mm seam allowance. I'll put thin paper underneath as I sew, then tear it away to help get a neat finish. To keep an even 5mm seam allowance, I use a presser foot that measures 5mm from the point of the needle to the edge, and I keep the fabric aligned with the edge of the foot as I sew. Snip your threads and tear away the paper from your seam. Repeat this again for the second strap on the other side. Your top should now look like this. To finish the straps, we'll flip the fabric round to the wrong side before top stitching. If your strap doesn't quite reach around enough, trim away just a little bit of the seam allowance from beside the seam we just stitched. Now it should fold round enough to meet the stitches on the underside. Pin and continue the fold along the rest of the strap, pinning it to hold. Now we can top stitch the strap towards the left of the centre to secure all 3 layers together. I'll use paper underneath again. I'll repeat the same steps to fold and stitch the second strap too. Here are both straps done, and now I'll grab the back piece. I've copied these markings over to the reverse side of the fabric. They indicate where the straps will be attached on the back. With right sides in, I line up the sides and pin. I'll sew the seam with a 5mm seam allowance and repeat for the other side. I have both darts folded down as I sew over them. Here my sides are closed and only the strap positioning remains. They will sit to the inside of these markings, but I'll do a test fit to mark the length I want them to be. I try the top on my Cocoa Beyond named Haru. I use a pin to mark where the strap should meet the top on both sides. I remove the top before securing my straps where I want them. I want to hand stitch them in place with a crisscross pattern since it'll be visible. You could use just a few straight stitches here though. Here are my decorative stitches, and with that, the top is complete. I really like how worn and used it looks already, and I can stretch the hem to make it curl more. I might even try sandpapering the edges to see if I can make some little holes. Are you a fan of the post-apocalyptic style? I would love to see what kind of extra touches you might add to your own tops. Please share what you've made with any of my patterns or tutorials on Instagram or Facebook using the hashtag BethRamsdenCrafts. I would love to feature you in a video. There we go. Haru is now sporting her new summery grunge look, complete with some leather bracelets and tie belt. What do you think of her vest? I think it shows off her lovely stomach nicely and would be lovely paired with my Mori skirt too. Remember to check out the description for the link to the pattern, and I'll see you again next time. Take care. Bye!